As they continue their counteroffensive against the invading Russian forces, the Ukrainian military says it has now fully liberated the strategic settlement of Robotyne, which is in the southeast in the region of Zaporizhzhia. Well, a Ukrainian commander says this latest breakthrough will allow Kyiv's forces to start advancing more quickly in the south, notably as they eye the Russian-occupied city of Tokmak. Well, analysts say that the recapture of Tokmak would be a significant milestone. Well, let's get more now. We can speak to political analyst Alexandra Filippenko, who joins us from Vilnius. Thank you very much indeed for joining us once again here on France 24. What's your understanding of what the situation on the ground in Ukraine is like and how the Ukrainian counteroffensive is doing?
The Ukrainian counteroffensive is going not as fast, maybe, as the European side and the American side anticipated, but it's going steadily and surely, let's put it this way. And I must say that the big part of the Ukrainian offensive right now are the drones that are attacking Russian territory. And in the military offices of Kyiv, now there is the whole separate group that is dealing with drones. We haven't seen that before, and they are taking care exactly and only the drones that are working from the Ukrainian territory. So Ukrainian counteroffensive is going, but not as fast as expected. But I think some things might change with Wagner Group that left Ukraine and is not expected to go back. So this will most probably affect the war in Ukraine, and this will be to Ukraine's benefit. And so the changes might come in the next months. It won't be fast, but the changes are coming due to Wagner Group not only leaving Ukraine, but being actually destroyed.
Yeah, indeed, because we were talking about Yevgeny Prigozhin's death here on France 24 last week as that news broke, and it has now, of course, at least been confirmed by Russian officials. I wanted to ask you whether Prigozhin's death in itself could have some sort of impact on the course of the Russian invasion of Ukraine.
I think that this will definitely affect the war, but not directly, not exactly today. And I must stress that not the absence of Wagner, but exactly Prigozhin's death, that it weakens Putin, actually. And it's not a show of force, as some people try to present it. I think Kremlin would like to present it as a show of force, but it's rather a show of systems weakness, actually, to my mind, at least. Why would you kill someone if you can send him to trial and then to jail, when you have trials and when you have everything at your fingertips? Like, for example, like Putin sent his nemesis Alexei Navalny to jail. So everyone knows that Russian courts are fake. It's a mess, and they don't really work. They do exactly what FSB tells them to do, Russian security forces, what they tell them to do. So that's what courts do. So why they would definitely send Prigozhin to jail? Why kill him in this manner? So this means that Putin was actually afraid of Yevgeny Prigozhin. He was afraid of what this mutiny that Yevgeny Prigozhin started, what it could end with. So it shows the whole world that if Putin makes a deal, he is not trustworthy. You cannot trust him. He made a deal with Prigozhin. And the Wagner Group, which a few months ago could be a big force, actually, not only in Ukraine, but also in Russia, it actually no longer exists. So Prigozhin's death will definitely affect the war, but I think it will affect the war in this manner of showing that there are big problems in the Kremlin, and this will bring some more troubles to the Kremlin and to President Putin personally.
Have we found out anything new with regards to the death of Prigozhin in recent days? Any new facts come to light, or anything that struck you as being interesting with regards to his demise last Wednesday?
Yes, I've read a lot from a lot of respected open source intelligence, the independent journalists like Andriy Kovalyov. He stressed a few interesting things. First First of all, actually, Yevgeny Prigozhin had not one, but at least two meetings with President Putin. First meeting was with Wagner commanders, at which Putin joked, that's typical, let's say, for Russia's president. Well, here you are in the Kremlin. That's what he said. And the second meeting was less public, at which Putin allegedly said that Prigozhin could safely deal far abroad, but not in Russia and not in Ukraine. But after that, the defense ministry was not just trying to squeeze Prigozhin and Wagner Group out of Syria and Africa, but they actually began to strangle Wagner, we can put it this way. The Ministry of Defense, the deputy, actually, Minister of Defense, he went to Syria, he went to Libya, and he made deals over there so that Libyan and Syrian government will make Wagner leave those territories. So these are new facts that are quite interesting. And also, I must stress that really struck me that the Kremlin, actually Putin's spokesperson, Dmitry Peskov, said that they know nothing, absolutely nothing about how Prigozhin and his commanders will be buried. They are heroes of Russia. They are supposed to be buried with honors, and meaning the military parade and the military band and military personnel, and also their coffins must be covered in the flags of Russia. But most probably there will be nothing like that. Most probably they will be buried without honors and even maybe on different cemeteries. That's according to the authorities. They prohibit any mass funerals for Wagner Group and for Yevgeny Prigozhin. So these are the things that kind of struck me, that actually things are much more serious, let's say, in the Kremlin than Putin wants to show everyone. But again, I must stress that a lot of people try to present and they think that this was a show of force. But to me, this shows actually weakness of the Kremlin right now.
Okay, thanks a lot. Yeah, as you say, it remains to be seen whether or not Yevgeny Prigozhin will get something resembling a state funeral or state honors at his burial. Thank you very much for taking the time to speak to us. We're out of time. Alexandra Filippenko, thank you for being with us once again on France 24.